You die once and suddenly you're not invisible. Explore the story of Heed, who was a corpse for a while but is back to life and trying to learn about just what had happened, only to discover the story is far stranger than that. Inspired by manga, Alter X Artifact is a new LGBTQ+ webcomic for mature readers revolving around magic and political espionage. This comic features fantastic elements, gripping storytelling, and impressive visuals that pull you into the strange but fascinating world of the comic. Alter X Artifact explores themes of magic, dreams, and relationships, all while deftly weaving a compelling mystery with eye-catching visuals. You're still in time to enjoy the exciting prologue as well, but you gotta hurry over onto the website. So, if you're looking for your next weekly webcomic read, you need to go to alterxartifact.com. That is alterxartifact.com. Now back to the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Supernatural Selection. I'm your host, Kevin the Bastard. With me this week are Mike the Skeptic. Mike, how are you doing? Turned into William Shatner?
I'm pretty good. How about you?
I can't complain right now. And we've got Mr. David Davis. David, how are you?
Doing well, but I find this whole introduction highly illogical.
Oh, thank you for taking the other viewpoint. And we have a special guest with us this week. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Nick Arganbright. I am very excited to be here.
Now, we know you, of course, from ye olden times as Nick Nitro. And Nick here has man, that word just keeps leaving our head. Kickstarter going right now. I believe we mentioned it last week, but we wanted to have Nick on so he could talk a little bit about it. Now, Nick's also, let's just say, an avid podcaster.
Yeah, that's a nice way to say that.
Yes.
Almost pathological from what I'm hearing.
Pathological podcasts. That'd be a great network name.
That is a good network name.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about some of your podcasts here, Nick. Like, what would you
like? Sure. So I originally started podcasting way back in 2005. A podcast that eventually became The Good, the Bad, and the Geeky, which is it's mostly movies and TV podcast, but we talk a little bit about comics and music and pretty much anything nerdy or geeky that we can think of. But the focus tends to be TV and movies. We're in between seasons right now. We're hoping to come back within the year. But I love that because I love talking about movies and TV shows, and amongst other things. And then I also have an actual play RPG podcast. That one's a little bit more of a tough cookie editing wise. So we have another season in the bank. It's just that we're slowly, editing through it, but I don't know when that will be ready, to be honest with you. And then another podcast that I've done that you can listen to that's up. We may try to do more eventually in the future, as in like a few years from now, I don't know, is The Magically Unauthorized Misadventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle and Friends, which is just gives me a chance to do all these really weird voices that I can do from watching, Bullwinkle's Moose-a-Rama on Nickelodeon back in the 90s.
Yeah.
It's like, because what's the other one? It's like Once Upon a Time in a Far Off Land, there was a podcast, and Nick was on all of them. No. So just do some of that. And then I'm on a friend's podcast. It's all been on Radio Hour. Where I also do other silly voices where I play a time machine. I play Captain. I don't do William Shatner, but I do like a mixture of Zap Brannigan and the Penguin from Madagascar as the Captain, which is, this is a little bit more like Zap Brannigan, but if I just tone it down a little bit, I become Captain Richard D. Cockay of the Starship Thrifty, our ship has exploded a few times. I don't know what ship we are on anymore. And then the other time machine is named Tim the Time Machine. Hello, everybody. My name is Tim the Time Machine here. And so, yeah.
I love it. I love it. You have so many podcasts, my friend.
And now we're in trouble because it's me and Nick on this show, and we're going to probably end up doing a lot of voices.
And here's the thing. What I want to hear right now, and I think what everybody wants to hear right now, is a conversation between Shaggy and Bullwinkle.
Zoinks, Bullwinkle, what are we going to do, man?
Well, it depends. How much food you got in that there fridge?
Like more than you can handle, dude.
Well, I am a moose. I have a particular appetite for delicious things.
It'd probably be easier to ride you than the dog.
Well, this became a very different type of podcast.
It's my fan fiction came to life.
Oh my God, what have you been writing? Jesus.
I'll send you a link later.
Don't share on my
Kevin,
account.
you listen to the F+, you know the
Absolutely.
fan fiction scene.
Oh yeah, God, I definitely know what's going on out there with a slash fix.
Oh yeah, baby.
Oh, wow.
Oh boy, this is going to be a thing. So, your podcast, your Kickstarter is for a comic called Excavator, and I was saying last week I absolutely adore the art style. It's got a very sort of Mike Mignola feel. At Mike Mignola, we're doing something a little more cartoony, and it's fantastic.
Well, I wish I could take credit for it. The only thing I can really do is I stumbled upon Nil while looking on ArtStation.
Okay.
And I reached out to him and said, hey, I have these characters. I would love to commission you to just draw them. And if possible, like if I like it, I would really like to maybe do a comic, see if our styles match up and all that. And
Yeah.
He pretty much, if you go to the Kickstarter, it's anyone can kind of look at the background, behind the scenes stuff. But I posted kind of what he drew first of Boone, who's our lead character, and then I wouldn't call her a sidekick necessarily, but part of the lead character, Ozzy. She's AKA the girl with the big frickin' sword.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and they drew that, and I was like, I love it, and I was like, let's work together, and if you want to, and he said yes. So
Awesome.
yeah, I'm very thankful that he said yes to that because it's beautiful.
Now, I'm going to put you on the spot here because, I think every writer should be able to kind of give a concise kind of summary of what their story is.
The elevator pitch.
Can you give us that elevator pitch to your comic?
Yes, man, you have no idea how often I work on this because it's in my head. It's just so much more complex, whatever. But you got to do this. So it's a story of a young Chelonian or archaeologist, aka an excavator, who stumbles upon an ancient alien artifact, and in a chance he has to travel to sell it. He encounters bounty hunters, strange creatures, and more.
There you go. No, I like it. Nice and succinct. Now, now it seems to me like you're going to be doing an ongoing story. Do you have an end in mind, or is this kind of like you're going to keep doing it until?
Oh, I do. Oh, so it's funny. I have an end in mind, and it's kind of a funny thing. I had an end in mind, but it was one of those things where there's so much I wanted to say that it's kind of going to be a kind of a fly by the seat of our pants kind of thing in terms of the first arc, 6 issues long, and we know for sure we're going to at least complete that arc for sure. There might be other avenues where we may try to tell the story if because producing a comic. So Kevin and I and you too, Dave, we go back in terms of the back in the days on Drunk Duck, or now the Duck webcomic.
Yes.
And I can draw, and when I say I can draw, I don't mean well. I can draw decent, and I can do what I do enough. Like so I can do cartoony characters, like very cartoony but very stiff, 2-dimensional. Like and I don't like bringing this guy up, but my art probably feels akin to Scott Adams, which is just not the greatest art in the world, right? And so, unfortunately, it makes it hard to produce a comic that I want to make look fantastic and amazing in this wonderful world. And, so it costs money to do that, unfortunately, which I'm happy to pay because Neil's such a fantastic artist. I want to make sure he gets paid for his amazing work, but it can be a costly thing to do. So if we can't go past the first 6 issues, which we do have a payment plan, aka it's called credit cards, help a little bit, and Kickstarters, then we might move to maybe like a radio play or maybe even like a novel with like pictures occasionally in it, that kind of thing. But the goal is to kind of do it like a piecemeal. We have I have like a small writers team cooked together. They're aka my editors who were editing me, and then I just started talking to them like just in general. And we kind of have 2 other like volumes possibly planned out. So I'm really hoping we can go forward with that. But again, it's going to be, volume by volume or arc by arc kind of decision. So
gotcha.
Yeah. Now I do have a couple more questions. I want Kevin to go because I feel like one of my questions is kind of like the nice transition question for the show. So Kevin, you got anything?
No, this is everything I was going to ask has been brought up.
Okay, so obviously, like Kevin and I, creative individuals, you're creative. Mike is just kind of here.
Oh wow, Mike writes. Actually, Mike is a writer. He has the skills.
I'm just lazy.
Okay.
Okay, so I want you to name 3 of your principal influences for this story. Okay, well, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, one of them is actually 2, but I'm lumping them together because they were co-creators. Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, they're the creators of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They're a big influence on me. I would then say Brian Michael Bendis.
Good one.
And then this is also, I think everyone says this at least recently in the last like 10 years, but Jeff Smith is another big one too.
Definitely.
And like when it comes to doing the serialized, when it comes to doing that kind of serialized storytelling, but with like cartoony characters, like there's no better inspiration than Jeff Smith and Bone.
Bone was definitely one of the things that made me realize, hey, I can tell a serious story with some really fun art.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and if you think about what's great about, and not to discredit Brian Michael Bendis, but because I know he can draw too, it's really more for the writing, and because I think it's Scott McCloud calls it more decompressionist like writing.
Right.
So that's what I kind of borrow from Bendis, or I emulate from Bendis. But with Laird and Eastman, and then also with Smith, there's a lot of love from previous artists that kind of because of that. So technically, one of the things I try to do in every issue is a thing that Kevin and Peter did, which is they would start the beginning of each Ninja Turtle book, or try to, how Kirby used to back when he had more creative control, Jack the King Kirby. Mm-hmm. So technically, me doing an homage to Eastman and Laird is doing an homage to the King himself. Right. Which is they would start off every book with, I think, a normal page. When you turn the page, there would be a double page spread. Of some kind. And I try to do that in every issue of Excavator. And then with Smith, he borrowed one of his big things, obviously, was Pogo, but also at the same time, the Carl Barks, Scrooge McDuck, Donald Duck comic.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, and I'm right with you with Eastman and Laird, because I'm wrapping up this weekend a story that I did was very much inspired by the Fugitoid. Just like visually and that sort of thing. So if you're into comics and you hear these 3 inspirations, you know that you're in for a good time.
Right.
And then I would love to talk more about comics with you in the future, and I think we could probably arrange that with another project.
Definitely.
But okay, so here's the transition question. So obviously this is a podcast about like the supernatural and that sort of thing. There is kind of a from what I've gathered from your comic that you're kickstarting, there is kind of a little bit of a mystical element to it here as well.
Yeah.
So are you a
semi-occult.
believer? Are you a believer in anything paranormal?
So that is a very fantastically heavy question, and I love it. So when I say this, by default, I am believe in the mystics, just because I believe in a god. I'm not like hardcore into all that stuff because
Right.
I have a lot of questions. Everybody, a lot of questions.
Right.
So I feel like I'm more like Red and Link, where I feel very deconstructed about everything, but I also want to believe in some higher power. At the same time, there are other things that I also cannot explain, right? So that's more on a faith side of things.
Right.
But then there are like scientifically, there are things that I cannot explain, gentlemen, like bumps in the night and pictures of ghosts or you know what I mean, like weird things that cannot be explained in natural phenomena, whether it be sounds, pictures, and images. I am fat. So, Adolf Hitler, real scumbag asshole, but he also was interested in the occult. And that in itself is interesting to me.
Yes.
Because
eventually we're going to tackle that as a topic.
Right. And so all that kind of stuff, I am very definitely interested in as a whole. So I would say yes, definitely. I'm very much interested in that. I know they kind of disproved it, like the Bermuda Triangle always fascinated me as a kid, because there's a section of the earth that you really shouldn't go into. Why? Because you disappear.
Because it's the Earth's butthole.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You just don't go there. It's a hellmouth almost in the water, which is, and I hate the water, not just because of the Titanic, but I've saw Jaws, and that terrifies me. But also, another thing, there are depths of the ocean that we can't go into, and there are creatures we cannot explain. Like, you're blowing. It blows my mind. So yeah, I believe in that stuff. I'm open to it. Yeah.
Awesome.
So do you have a cryptid that you particularly like?
Oh man, this is a classic, but Nessie. I love Nessie. Even though scientifically they keep proving it that she probably can't exist, I am just like, I feel like there's some other things that, well, I don't know. I want to believe that she does.
Well, you know what Mike's theory is on Nessie?
No, what's his theory?
Mike? Do you remember your...
I don't. It was not a serious theory.
Okay, yeah, okay, but still...
You're setting me up for something I don't remember.
Ghost dinosaurs.
Can I just say, this whole exchange kind of reminded me of, was it the hyenas in The Lion King? Where it's like, oh, no, Ed. Just the whole... Sorry.
Oh,
no. We like to do that. We like to put Mike on the spot.
Yeah,
just making sure that he's still involved.
Yeah,
But
Mike didn't. Mike, this was from the episode where we traded places, where we talked about stuff I don't believe in, and Mike was like, "Well, what if it's a ghost dinosaur?"
Yeah, and that was me just like throwing bullshit.
No, you totally believe it.
You buy it.
You bought it. You bought it.
Oh,
You bought.
sure.
You sold.
You
it.
drank. You
bought
drank
it-
the Flavor Aid.
I bought it so much I can't remember it.
That's right. That's exactly how it works. Yep.
Look, that's how little I think of it. It's just it immediately left my brain as like into the recycle bin.
Yes.
So just busting real quick out, what do you guys like? I know this is harder because you guys talk about probably every episode, but what is it that you like encapsulate what you guys do or don't believe in, and what's your favorite cryptid?
Okay, Mike. Let's go with you, because I want you. We know what you believe.
I believe in nothing.
Mike is a belief
I'm
nihilist.
a nihilist.
I respect that.
I mean, not a nihilist,
Yeah,
but you know,
it'd be cool.
I think I'm a. So that sounds really kind of pithy and boring, but I believe in the amazingness of just shit that we can see and touch and feel and
Right.
The people.
Humans.
Yes. And
so, do you have a favorite cryptid though?
I don't know.
Is it the Loch Ness Monster? Is it Bigfoot?
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Is it them Big Yeti Naturals?
No, I mean, considering they have to like throw them over their shoulders, from what I hear.
Oh, nice callback.
Deep cut.
I don't. I mean, I can't say I have a favorite. Just
Okay.
because I don't really think of them that often.
Yeah, he tries not to think about them because I bring them up so often.
Yeah, I kind of have to, like, segregate that part of my brain. Otherwise, I
Right.
will not be able to live.
That's true.
Well, then are you two then like more like Mothman, Bigfoot?
Well, I believe in a lot of stuff. Mind you, there's a lot of stuff I don't believe in. Of course, you know me. I believe that maybe there's some kind of aliens. I don't know that they're extraterrestrials or ultra-terrestrials. They could be invaders from the super spectrum. Mike, take a drink.
I finished my rum.
Oh, shit. Okay.
If you've been wondering why I've been so quiet, that's because I finished my rum
Okay.
already.
Mainlining that shit.
And I have not eaten dinner, so.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, no, you're eating dinner. You're just eating a Hemingway dinner.
I don't know. Is there a shotgun yet?
I don't smoke enough.
I was about to
or at
say,
all.
it's like there's a gun nearby, probably. Oh dear,
That's the Hemingway dessert.
Yes.
that's a cherry on top of the.
Yeah, oh boy. That's damn, this got dark. No, favorite cryptid though, I'm gonna go with probably it's either Spring-Heeled Jack or the Flatwoods Monster.
Oh, Spring-Heeled Jack. I haven't heard that in so long.
Yeah, and the reason I say the Flatwoods Monster is just, come on, man, that's a great look. A skirt, weird claws, ace of spades behind your head. You're kicking it.
So to be honest with you, I'm looking it up right now because I've never heard of that one before.
Oh, you're going to love this guy. They based a Pokemon on... I think they based a Pokemon on him. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, it's... oh my God.
That guy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I think we covered it within like the first 10 episodes of the show.
Yeah,
well.
we did an episode called Owls and Poo Gas about him. And
which explains why people... Well, that's one of the explanations as to why people saw the Flatwoods Monster.
is Owl and Poo Gas.
Yeah.
So, David, how about you? Your belief?
I'm
And-
wildly inconsistent in my beliefs.
Okay.
They change based on new input. Like there's some things that like fundamentally I believe. Like I believe there's other life in the galaxy.
Sure.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Now,
that's kind of
Okay.
a given.
Obviously, that's not as big a leap as.
I just
some other
don't
stuff.
think they've made it here, but
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is
But
why
like
they're from the
also
super
like
spectrum.
I legitimately believe in magic, but I don't like think of it as like Harry Potter slinging spells around. I think of it as like very much kind of a thing of like how people can inflict their will upon the universe.
That's a
They can
really
inflict-
good word for it.
Yeah, inflicting your will
Inflict.
upon reality, that sort of thing. Like I believe that like with enough thought and enough attention and focus that you can kind of rewrite the code, as it were.
Right.
As far as cryptids go, I want to believe. Like I'm still convinced I saw a goblin. Like I've
Yes.
mentioned this before. But yeah, as far as cryptids go, like my all-time favorite, because I draw them all the time now. It seems like is the
you
Kentucky
do.
goblins. I love the Hopkinsville goblins so much.
Yes.
That's cool.
Well, they're adorable and weird.
Yeah,
Well-
especially the way that I draw them, because I make them
Yeah.
like little bug-eyed, like toothy freaks. It's great.
Yeah, no, they definitely look like they go. So yeah, no, I totally get it.
Yeah, I remember growing up there was a oh Jesus, what was the book Del Toro made? I think is Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Scary stories to tell in the dark.
Yeah, I remember I thought it could. They have a few of them. I thought so. I could be getting it mixed up, but I thought there was a very short story about the Jersey Devil, or something like that. And I always was fascinated by that because there are a lot of creatures that are extinct, right?
Yep.
Like that I watched. Was it Simon Whistler do a video on Today I Found Out on YouTube where they talk about creatures that we don't have a lot of evidence on, right? Because the drawing of them, it could be slight hyperbole, right? Just because they didn't really see it as well as they thought. But other times it could very well legit be a creature we just don't have. We haven't found the bones for yet, right? Or we've, like dinosaurs, we've mischaracterized the Triceratops for real. Like the Triceratops is an abnormality, I believe. It's actually like a two-horned. The Toro or whatever it is the real dinosaur. The Triceratops, I think, is the babies or something. I don't know. It's something weird like that where it's like, okay, cool. So shit like the Jersey Devil, man, like that freaks me out, and it's so cool, and I love it. But
that's another one we need to do.
Yeah. Like we have a list, an ever expanding list.
Yeah,
and Jersey Devil's definitely on there.
We have topics for days.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of topics, this week it's the Weekend Weird, and we brought Nick on so he can make the yucks with us about this. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go ahead and go first because I think this is relevant because 18 minutes ago this became irrelevant. So, a time traveler, quote unquote, predicts our future. Aliens will conquer Earth on March 23rd.
Well, what time zone was he predicting?
He didn't say, but we're in Central and it's past midnight. It's already the next day.
Well, I mean,
it's only about 10 here.
He could have been like talking Hawaii time.
Okay,
or
well,
like that.
David.
So he's still got a couple hours left.
Yeah, David, you're on lookout.
Yeah, if the aliens show up, you'll be the first to know from me.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
by the time this podcast goes live, though.
If it goes live.
Well, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they could shut us down.
We could be dead.
Yes.
Well, and if this shakes out the way that I think it will, I just want to welcome our alien overlords and let them know that I'm willing to do whatever they ask.
You know, that's a brave assumption. You know what all their holes do.
I was already say, what are you willing to do for the flying car, man?
Yeah. So, I love this article. It's from Marca.com, which I'm already like, I don't know how I feel about this. It's talking about like Tom Brady and Donald Trump up at the top. So, we're going to just like skip everything else on this site. But, this is a very poorly written article. When George Wells, you know, the famous author George Wells, published his novel The Time Machine, again, author George Wells.
Wait. They're missing something there.
They're missing a few things. I have never called him George, and I don't think anyone else has.
They spell Wells with one E.
Yeah.
Maybe he was an actual friend. Maybe the time traveler is a friend of HG.
Maybe.
And he's like, yeah, me and George, we tight, yo.
Maybe.
Appreciate it.
Maybe we've had a Mandela effect. So, nonetheless, but when George Wells published his novel *The Time Machine* in 1895, few could have known the stories that were to follow in the wake of that book. A lot of fables and few realities. Even the film industry has echoed this impossible idea with a lot of movies based on this fantasy that of being able to travel forwards or back in time. In the 80s film Back to the Future is one of the main references.
Is this one sentence?
Yep.
Jesus Christ. It's like my students wrote it.
I know.
Chat BGT or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah, no, it's seriously, this is some AI written shit. What was hard to imagine more than 100 years ago is that an influencer who calls himself a time traveler could state categorically what was going to happen, and in this case, so soon. I love reading it like this because this is how it's written. So, the name of this time traveler is Eno Alaric, a person who claims to be a time traveler and is revealed to one of the most popular social networks of recent years, TikTok, that the future of the human race is in danger as a group of aliens will conquer planet Earth. You know what? This is actually getting really painful to try to read, but Eno says that today we were going to be conquered by aliens. And
did he say which aliens?
He did not. And there's a lot of them. Wait. Here we go. A story like the one he tells could not fail to have an apocalyptic moment, something that Eno has also shared with his followers. According to his revelation, only a small part of the inhabitants of our planet will survive. What's more, the fact will be possible thanks to another alien, a good one, who will be known as the Champion.
Wow.
So,
I love this.
Yeah. So, we missed that so far. David is on Alien Watch, and I don't.
Hopefully, Injured Cold shows up. You know,
he's the
Langulos
champion.
comes to save us from the space chicken people.
Yeah, no, he's a champion. The aliens are the humanoids. They're coming to take our shoes. We're all fucked. Because I'm not going outside barefoot.
Hey, and if we're lucky, we'll all be part of the 8,000 people that supposedly will be chosen by the champion to save humanity.
Yes.
But dad news, everybody. I saw a special the other day that you need about 10 to 20,000 of a species to not dumb it down in terms of reproduction.
Oh, no, it's okay, man. If it's Lannulos, they're originally from Earth anyway, so we're good.
Oh, okay.
And they have space seers.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Ooh.
And their laundry technology is light years beyond ours.
Yeah, when they wear clothes, they're mostly nudists.
So just to clarify, light years beyond ours, meaning that if it's a two-floored house or two-story building, that the laundry is on the same floor as the master bedroom, because that's a pretty big flaw in designing today houses. I just want to throw that out there.
Believe it or not, all the houses on Lannulos are single-story.
They are light years above us.
Yes, they have done away with the need for stairs.
They definitely are not high density, planning there.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
no apartments on Lannulos.
Yeah,
horrible waste of space. Like
there is no rent control on Lannulos.
No green spaces at all.
No. Actually, he talks about it. You know what? I'm not going back into this fucking story again. We did it for like an hour and a half last week. I'm fucking done with Woody Derenberger. So yeah, we're on the lookout for the Lannulosians to show up and tell us about all this fun shit and save us from the chicken men. So, Mike, what have you got?
Scarred for life.
Scarred for life. Straight on my body and onto your plate.
That's the chicken lady.
Oh, yep. Right. Sorry. Kids in the hall. Sorry.
Compliment to the chicken man. So, here's a problem I'm having right now.
Okay.
I have a story.
Uh-huh.
But no matter how many times I read it, I can't wrap my brain around it.
Okay. Can you know what? See if we can.
That's the best kind of story for this show.
Yeah. So it came to me from a Slashdot article of a Vice article, but in Googling it, there's several other articles which are more in depth and harder to grasp.
Because it gets into science?
Yeah, so I'll start with the Vice article.
Okay, do that.
And I'll just read the headline and I want to hear your brains falling out of your heads.
Perfect.
A growing number of scientists are convinced the future influences the past.
All right, this makes total sense to me, actually.
Well, so it's on a quantum micro scale.
Right.
It's not going to be like, say you break your arm and you're all of a sudden you'll break your arm in the future and a sling appears on you.
No, I understand that. It's not like that, but like something happening in the future sending ripples
so
that are
more
detectable.
It's not even detectable. That's the problem. It's not detectable.
Then how do they know?
It's more of a so it's the kind of the classic Bob and Alice experiment. Like they're both monitoring Bob and Alice are a typical like quantum theory stand-in thought experiment.
Okay, all right.
And they're both monitoring, say, some emissions from something, like it could be anything, nuclear decay or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're measuring particles. And they both have several tests they can perform.
Right.
Well, one of them selecting one test would retroact, and they're separated by, space. So they say they're, on either ends, whatever they're measuring is in the middle, and Bob's in one direction and Alice is in the other direction. And so whatever Bob selects to measure would somehow influence the readings Alice is getting, because it's the wave particle duality and
right.
quantum waveform.
I've seen that episode of Futurama.
It's basically
is that called like quantum tunneling or something?
It's not really, but it's just kind of say it is a they're trying to determine wave or particle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if Bob measures for waves, then Alice would see waves as well.
In the past, though, because
the talk about it is not the past. They'd be measuring at the same time, but you have to think that instead of transferring the change transferring through space from Bob to Alice, it's actually transferring back in time to when the particles or wave were emitted from the source and changed it then.
So their observation changed it, broke down the wave pattern.
Yeah, the spooky action at a distance, it's actually more of the spooky action at a time. Therefore, it's changing at the source and not, the intervening space.
So is Marvel Studios rewriting physics on us right now? Because this all sounds like shit from the MCU.
This sounds like Kang shit.
That's why I said I didn't quite grasp it. And I could be... That's my take on it. I've been reading it while we've been going.
This could be a gross inaccuracy.
Yeah, it could be completely off fucking base here. But that's kind of the thing I'm getting at. That's the understanding I'm getting, is that, for a long time they've wondered how could, these two readings that are separate be, somehow entangled or, seem the same. And maybe it's that the state isn't being changed through space, but through time.
Let's see, all I know is that Loki is involved, and we'll be seeing it on Disney Plus next year.
I was going to say, I have a feeling the Joker found this out, and that's how he became the Joker.
The Joker pulled a cosmic boner.
He gets I'll show you a giant boner. Yeah.
So it's called retro causality.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's fucked.
That's cool. That sounds like a great album name.
And
you a fucking boner, Batman.
Oh man, Batman gets the boner before the Joker's even done it.
Well, that's not really fun now, is it? All right, everybody, let's go get shiny.
All right, Joker, you're fucked now.
The only
literally.
How'd you find my other fanfic?
Yeah, oh God.
God, all these people doing fanfics, I feel left out.
Joking aside with the Joker, but doesn't it also in a weird way sound like it sounds like a weird way of saying it's technically the bootstraps paradox without it being the bootstraps paradox, right? Like you are somehow in the future causing yourself to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps.
Like the grandfather's paradox, or the knowledge from nowhere thing where you travel in the past, you give Einstein the information, but where did it come from originally kind of thing?
Yeah.
Not really. I don't think it... So far, of course, there's no real... since there's not information being transmitted... That's kind of one of the problems not problems I have with it, but disappointments I have with this kind of stuff is that no matter how hard we try, we can't think of a way to break fundamental physics with this.
Well, and that's something that I've noticed is theoretical physics lately has gotten really comic booky.
Yeah.
So we can't use this to instantly transfer information or anything. it's one of those things. It's like, let's say, I'm trying to think of a way to
Quantum
put this.
entanglement.
It's say, I thought I had something, but I can't.
Has anybody else got a headache now, though?
Yeah, I was just about
really.
to ask that.
Yeah. I
see
think
what
I
it is.
have
I was thinking it, and I planted it in your mind in the past.
Okay, good. Yeah. Okay, great. We just, I'm going to go end it. No.
But no matter how hard we try, we can't use this for, super
anything
speed.
useful.
Yeah.
I can't have a quantum modem that lets me get everything at, faster
Data
than the speed of light.
before you needed
Exactly.
It's just like the weird quirkiness of trying to understand the universe, and it has no practical value. It's just these weird anomalies that we just cannot explain.
It has some practical use, but not as awesome as you would hope it would be.
Right.
Like, I'm sure this has like quantum computing ramifications.
Sure.
But it doesn't mean we can like have the answer before we ask the question.
Right.
So, throwing out there, because I remember I read a little bit at the time, and I'm sure more scientific stuff has been figured out. But to be clear, I just want to throw out the movie's horrible, but the book Timeline by Michael Crichton,
The book's much better.
It is actually really good, but they talk a lot about, half the book, because that's what his whole shtick, right, is after he wrote that ER book, Andromeda Strain afterwards was pretty much, let's take real science and then just skew it for funsies and dinosaurs. But the Timeline, though, I really enjoyed the science of it, and I looked into it at the time and remembering being like, oh no, this is actually stuff they really are trying to do, right? Like, they're like real scientists that believe in quantum mechanics don't believe in going just forwards and backwards per se, right? Like, so I guess my question is, the quantum entanglements that's happening because of that or whatnot, is it because at least back then, do we now believe again that things can go just backwards and forwards? Or is it like a multiverse where you're going backwards, but you're not really going back to your universe? You're going back into an iteration of your universe, right? Like, or am I also just causing a bigger headache?
I follow none of this.
My ears are bleeding.
Fantastic.
It sounds like the MCU time travel thing, where it's like another universe.
The many universes theory with time travel, that's one way to do it, but I don't know.
So my best understanding of stuff like quantum entanglement is that while we have quantum computers that are and have demonstrated use of quantum entanglement and quantum tunneling, the issue is that quantum information somehow, we don't know why, it somehow is still slower than the speed of light. Like the propagation of quantum information.
This is probably some kind of...
While it does not, we do not know of a link between the you have two quantumly entangled things, and you flip one and the other one flips. The propagation of that is slower than the speed of light, but generally they're happening, right next to each other. You're not like separated by miles or anything. They're, on one atom trap silicon chip.
Crazy.
So, but the propagation of the quantum effect is still slower than the speed of light.
And that's why I believe in magic, because I don't have to shit.
You know what? Suddenly, I'm all about getting a wand.
Well, so
I'm a 40K orc, red is faster.
Yes, the red ones are faster.
Well, magic is just science that we haven't figured out the math for.
Yes, thank you. Now, don't you bitch about me buying tarot cards.
No.
Thanks, Doris.
In the Marvel movies.
I think the most interesting thing is how math continues to be the best language for the universe.
Sure. Yeah.
It's not spells or anything. It's math.
God, now my brain hurts even worse.
I was going to say, should we move on before our heads
let's move
collapse?
on, because I'm about to be...
a brain break for us.
Oh, great.
Oh, boy.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, a little nourishment for our minds here to kind of help us recover. It's like, orange slices after you become 50 feet tall.
Sure.
So, okay. The title of this article, this is from Business Insider. Uber Eats mystery is leaving this LA neighborhood with countless food deliveries, but nobody knows why, and residents are over it.
I heard of this.
I wish I had this problem.
Now, this is just a short article. I'm just going to go ahead and read through the article. Feel free to pop in with any jokes you have.
Sure.
But there is a food delivery mystery unfolding in a Los Angeles neighborhood. Unwanted free food from Uber Eats, bags of McDonald's, Taco Bell, and Starbucks have been arriving for weeks, but nobody can figure out why. Quote, before you knew it, the whole street was lined with bags of McDonald's and Starbucks, but nobody could explain where it was coming from, Morgan Courier told ABC7. Quote, people have been getting upwards of 30 to 40 orders. At first, some residents of the Highland Park neighborhood were excited to find free food on their doorsteps, but after 3 weeks of endless orders, the charm is gone. The new deliveries have begun to, quote, haunt my dreams, said resident William Meadows to ABC7. Uber has launched an investigation into the unwanted fast food, but so far no culprit has been found, ABC7 reported. Some residents have also been sleuthing, according to the Los Angeles Times. They've called the number listed on the order receipts, but it was disconnected. Quote, I've been getting 20-piece nuggets with sweet and sour sauce, Morgan Courier, a vegetarian, told the LA Times. What a waste to send it to a vegetarian. I had a friend who I would text, come over and grab it. And then even he said, I can't keep eating 20-piece chicken McNuggets. I've reached my limit.
Sounds like a loser to me.
Even though residents haven't been able to stop the orders or find out why they're showing up, it's been a kind of bonding experience. There's just been more neighborly connections over it, Kelsey McManus told the LA Times, and we've talked about doing our own investigation on it, doing a little podcast, and I would listen to the hell out of that podcast.
No shit! The other thing is, I think if it's brought them together as a community, quit your bitching.
Meanwhile, in Acme Labs, it's like, Pinky, are you pondering what I'm pondering? I think so, Brian, but why are we doing Uber Eats to everybody again? No. Because we give them all the food they want, Pinky. They'll make me the ruler of the world, and so when the champions come, we will be part of the 8,000. Wait. What if they're vegetarian and they don't like Chicky McNugs?
Chicky McNugs. Oh, God, another term for chicken I can't stand.
I want to know where the money's coming from.
I've got a theory, but I'll get into it in a
theory
minute.
as well, but I just want to dwell on this image of a street just lined with bags of McDonald's and Wendy's and Starbucks and Taco Bell.
God, it's beautiful.
And but here's the thing, like I wouldn't necessarily trust picking up those bags of food either.
Yeah. So that reminds me of something I had happen at work.
Oh, I was there for this.
I opened the back door to put a box out, and I looked past our little pile of boxes, and I saw a bag, brown paper bag with, the little handle loops, and it had a sticker, closing the top of the bag. So it had not been opened. So I'll walk over there and look, and it was a order of ostensibly from like DoorDash or one of those things, had a receipt underneath the sticker, and had just been left there. And I was like going, that wasn't there like, not like half an hour ago, the last time I had put something out there. That wasn't there. So like some delivery driver, I guess, so we have apartments just behind our store, and notoriously we have a lot of delivery drivers come in looking for apartments because I think their app or maps or whatever they use to find
takes
stuff
it to our store.
Just they don't know where the fuck to go.
Now, Mike.
Well, now here's what you do. In the back, you set up like a little bin and just put Uber Eats, DoorDash here.
That's not a bad idea.
But I saw that bag and I was like, so this isn't very old, but I don't trust sidewalk food.
Mike, I didn't make the connection, but did you know that a lady came in the store later that night asking if some Uber Eats had been delivered to our store?
Oh my god!
But yeah, they just kind of stuck it. I think they
just set it on the sidewalk and left
next to our pile of boxes, thinking, "Oh, that's trash."
What if it was a drug deal or something that went haywire?
I don't know. I found a bag of cocaine one time at Rose's.
Nice.
What?
I flushed it down the toilet.
You should have snorted it.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
the
sure.
hell I am.
Could have been baby
Excuse me.
laxative.
Yeah. Say, baby.
That's going to clean out the baby, all right.
Oh, yes. Yes, quite. Now, my theory is that this is like some kind of dimensional nexus for undelivered and lost food deliveries.
It's the Bermuda Triangle of food delivery.
Well, it's like if there's a black hole that absorbs lost food, then that neighborhood is the white hole that spits it back out.
No. You know what it is?
What is it, Mike?
It's a rogue AI.
Ooh.
It's like
There you go.
Chat GPT gained sentience and started like ordering Uber Eats and just like sending them to random vegetarians.
Oh, wow.
Bestowing gifts upon others, which it can never truly enjoy. How sad.
Yeah. That's sad.
No, I think the main theory out there is that probably it's people testing stolen credit cards.
That's possible.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the theory that I didn't look too deep into it, but that's the general
That's
consensus that
actually
I've gathered is.
kind of
Yeah.
interesting.
Damn. Good one,
See,
Dave.
what's funny in my head though is that when I first heard it, I was like, "Oh my god, it's probably some veg because it's in LA or California. It's some veggie nut that's probably sending vegetarian food, which I'm not. So if that was me getting the food, I'd be like, man, not fucking tofu again. Like I hate
Nick.
Yeah.
What are chicken nuggets made out of?
Oh god, some meat goop.
Oh, okay, so like these, like they're getting orders like pallets worth of like chicken nuggets. So I don't know if it's a vegetarian ordering this.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like when you explained it further, though, that it was the other way around, I was like, oh wait, no, this guy's just a dick, and I find it funny.
This-
Well, no, see,
It's a
I was very
Texan.
concerned you didn't know the difference between like vegan food and meat.
Well, I don't understand the difference between vegan food and vegetarian. No, I'm kidding. I kind of do.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, well, if you find a vegan and ask them, they will definitely tell you.
Yeah, they will talk to you about it for a long time.
What's the joke from the movie Notting Hill, where there's a girl who believes like you don't eat carrots or fruit either, which means like what the hell do you eat? Because she's just like, so these carrots, they've been murdered. Yes, like.
well, I mean,
I've never met someone like that, but I've met a few vegans and a few vegetarians. But no, I thought it was the way around because usually anyone in that area is hardcore health nuts. Usually, that's the trope, right? And it's a trope for a reason. So I thought, Jesus, man, I would be pissed too if I'm getting all this free food and it's all health shit. But then we were like, it's chicken nuggets, and I was like, oh, well,
score.
fuck, I take that.
Score. Yep.
You know how hard it is to live in LA or whatever and have to pay rent and food? This is my meal. Like I would be happy.
Yeah,
I would take the street food.
Like if I lived in that neighborhood and I heard that was a thing and people were just dropping food off at my door,
I'd be
like,
driving through that
because,
neighborhood.
Yeah, I would do it. I'd be like, okay, no, like
I'll take it.
delivery.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're poor. Mike, you were going to say something?
It's past.
Sorry. I do think I want to write a musical though about this whole thing and how it brings the whole like maybe this one block together.
It sounds like a Dr. Seuss story.
I legitimately hope that podcast is a thing that happens.
Oh God, yes, that would be amazing.
That would
like
be so
it
cool.
sounds like something from what's that radio show on NPR? The
This
glass
American
one, the guy.
Life.
It sounds like something out of This American Life. Like we're going to hear about it a year from now.
Hi,
on there.
I'm Ira Glass. This week on This American Life, you're going to have to listen to me. Sorry. So guys, that's our first round of stories. I think we should take a bit of a break, and we will be right back after this. And we're back. And we've got more weird news for the week. So my next one is, sometimes I find an article on, say, one of the weird-ass subreddits that I go on. And this is
Isn't that all subreddits?
Yeah, pretty much. But this is from phantomsandmonsters.com. Does not have the name of whoever wrote it.
Just phantoms, just monsters. You put any UFO shit, they will ban you.
Yep. Nope, that's it. Flying winged monkey reported in Jacksonville, Florida suburb.
Bat Squatch.
I know. I'm so excited. I always wanted to meet Bat Squatch, just because he's so unique. So a reader swears that they. That's a great way to start a fucking article. A reader swears. Now they're doing it. They did ask it before, but they swear they weren't tripping this time. No. A reader swears that they observed a small monkey with large wings flying away after passing it on a suburban street near Jacksonville, Florida. What did he and his passengers see? Received in May 2017. This is going to sound totally unbelievable, and I swear I saw something like a flying monkey last night. I was driving on a neighborhood street, and this strange animal was on the roadway. I could see its head, and it looked like a monkey to me, but it was small, like the size of a prairie dog or a gopher. I kept saying, "What is that?" I drove around it, and as it would not move, possibly dazed by my headlights. My friend thought it was a possum until we passed it, and we both said, "That wasn't a possum." I quickly turned around, and all I saw were huge wings. Way too big for that animal, flying away. So, I'm thinking a squirrel got picked up by an owl.
Now, where was this again?
Jacksonville, Florida.
It could have been a hawk or something, I wonder.
Yeah, sure. But again, picking up a squirrel. Mike, thoughts?
I know someone in Jacksonville. I could ask them.
Hey, there you go. But then again, like I said, this is a recent article from the 22nd, but the report was from 2017. So,
hey, have you seen any winged monkeys around?
Yeah. And I love at the bottom of the article, it's a picture of a flying monkey from The Wizard of Oz.
Of course.
So, yeah.
But a monkey. So I know that's the picture of the monkey, but like they said, did I hear correctly? You did say it looked like a monkey.
It was like a monkey the size of a woodchuck with giant wings.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm just gonna go with a varmint what got snatched.
Well, you know what? Sounds more plausible than a panther in Mississippi. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, shut your freaking pie hole. No, my thing here is they didn't say it had wings when they were going past it, but when they looked back, they saw wings. I'm like, that's a small animal that got snatched. I hate to be the skeptic, but come on, man.
Yes. Let the skepticism flow through you.
Like the stick up your ass fits, then yeah.
Yeah, okay, fair, but like there's some things I'm willing to believe, but this one. Yeah. Also, I have a feeling like anything that might remotely be misconstrued as a monster is going to end up on phantomsandmonsters.com.
Well, and you know what? You're also the one who gave us the dead animal story for the week. So there you go.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
See that little gopher or marmot or whatever the hell it is, it's dead now.
The dead animal eaten by the... It's basically just in an owl pellet now.
Yeah.
So,
some fourth grader's going to find it and open and be like, oh, cool bones. Like I would.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Marcus. That's great. So, Mike, you must be proud of me for at least not jumping on it was a monkey.
Well, considering the winged monkey is not high on your pantheon of cryptids,
yeah,
I can see how you would be skeptical of that.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of a thing.
Now, if someone had reported seeing the skunk ape,
oh, that's different.
In Jacksonville, Florida.
That's completely different.
Hell yeah, it's a skunk ape.
Yeah.
Now, here's my question.
Yeah.
How many times would people need to see this before we could officially label it a cryptid?
You gotta have my standard thing is 3 times or more.
Okay, I hope it gets seen about 4 times. That way I can make a t-shirt out of it.
Okay, the flying monkey of Jacksonville.
Yes.
That does sound like it could be their hockey
It
team.
sounds like a very, very fucking Florida cryptid, doesn't it?
It does. Of course, it would also be like high on PCP.
I would have to say it'd have to smoke meth to be Florida's state-sponsored cryptid.
Hey, look, everybody, it's a flying meth monkey. Okay, that's a shirt. That's got to be the next shirt. It's the flying meth monkey. Okay. So, Mike, what have you got next for us?
Toby the flying meth monkey.
That's what you got for us next?
No.
Okay, all right.
No, so there's a very serious study out of Spain.
Uh-oh.
Doing serious studies in Madrid.
Is this studying to see how many Spaniards are in Spain?
No, they've discovered that.
Okay.
Now, see, how do they have time to do studies between all the paella and siestas?
That's probably why this story seems a little
sus.
No, more of a no shit kind of thing.
Okay.
But a study by urologists in Spain have discovered or have determined that erections, there are in fact showers versus growers.
So it's not just a lie.
No. Yeah. No, I've known several people that were shocked to discover the truth. I was like, that's hilarious.
So, scientists in Spain have settled the important debate. Men really can be showers or growers.
I'm going to guess they just sat around watching porn and were like, hey,
it says
that dude doesn't have much of a holy shit. Where'd that come from?
They examined data from hundreds of men. Hundreds.
Of
top men.
So what about the bottoms?
Found their penises fell along a spectrum of added length during erection.
Mike, is your penis on the spectrum?
I think it is.
Now, penis is in a spectrum. We have these words. I need to hear it from Shaggy, and I need to hear it from Bullwinkle.
Zoink, Scoob, I just found out my penis is on a spectrum.
Hokey smokes rock, my penis is on a spectrum.
Well, that's some shit I didn't know I needed to hear. Okay.
I'm a grower and a shower.
Wait, what?
Even makes sense, Bullwinkle.
It's the fur.
It's the fur.
He looks like he's wearing a fur moo-moo all the time. I can't. Anyway.
So while you do that, play the Fractured Fairy Tales music.
Oh God.
The urologist didn't uncover any factors associated with having either type of penis, though, and the largest proportion of men were somewhere in the middle. So,
a growing shower.
Well, no, it was more of a you show some and then grow some versus,
and then you have the facts of life.
You look like you have a Vienna sausage, but it turns out to be,
a country pleasing.
Long.
It
Greetings
turns out
and
to be
salutations,
Frank.
poetry lovers.
I'm sorry. I thought that was a good joke. You start with a Vienna sausage, you end up with a country pleasing.
Nah. Well, Kevin, that's only really relevant for us.
Okay, yeah, but still, it's a brand. It's a real good brand of sausage.
Yes, it is a good brand. Kevin likes that country pleasing.
I love.
So how many times are you going to say penis?
Yeah,
I love having
more,
country
probably.
pleasing sausage in my mouth. The hot juice is running down the back of my throat.
The urologists were earnestly interested in the topic.
Oh, I bet.
Since a penis's ability to stretch when to erect could impact the kind of health care they would provide to their patients. If someone needed penile surgery, for instance, the best method might differ from someone with a penis that substantially grows during erection compared to one that doesn't.
I just picture the scientists sitting around. It's like, Esteban, why do you keep doing this? I don't know. I just like penises.
Well, so this is Spain, so they probably shower more together than we do in the States.
That's a very weird kind of thing to mention, Mike.
Where?
Well,
Where does that come from?
I'm just saying that they probably were looking at other dudes' junks and were like, thinking about it.
I've never been to Spain, and if that's how it works, I'm never going to Spain.
Well, here's the three things
Kevin-
about like Spain and tourism. Number one, you have to have the paella. You have to
Okay.
take a couple siestas, and you have to shower with several other men. Like that's a Spain trip.
Oh.
See, we had a very different Spain trip when I went, like back
Okay.
in 98. There was nothing like that at all.
It's changed a lot.
I'm just
Yeah, I
saying that
guess so.
other countries seem to be more comfortable with that thing than America.
I like how Mike is indignant now.
No, I'm not indignant. I'm just
He's
saying
just explaining. That's
I'm
Mike's
saying
explaining voice.
Well, if
America-
you guys just throw it out there, if you ever need something read as Mr. Know-It-All, I will gladly do it. I just need to know what it is.
Okay, we'll definitely start making some Mr. Know-It-All notes for you.
So how about some numbers here?
Oh God.
Good,
Okay.
hard, long numbers.
Yes. They considered men to be, quote, growers if their flaccid penises grew by more than 56%, and showers if they grew by less than 31%.
Okay.
Roughly a quarter of men belong to each group, with the remaining half falling in between the two categories. So there's a third category. So it's not just showers or growers. It's
The bastard hybrids.
it's just kind of there's showers, there's growers, and there's
Alien hybrids.
expected.
Expected.
Like they're
Oh.
so their penis like grows by a small amount, but an expected amount.
Like I know this is science. I know that this is actually like useful information, but it's just really fucking funny to me.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
This whole
And
thing, it's just very, very funny.
again, Esteban just likes looking at dick.
That it
That's
took
pretty
to the
much
year 2022, which was last year. This was the study was done for people to actually like look into this.
You know, this really does remind me of Congress when they did the whole how many times do you have to shuffle a deck of cards before it is officially shuffled, and
Well-
it cost millions.
Well, that I can understand because you have like gaming commissions and they have to like, you wouldn't want in a game of chance, at a casino, you wouldn't want them to arbitrarily say, well, we shuffled this like half of a time. It's like,
Okay, that's fair.
They,
All right,
they have
I
to
never
set
thought of
a
that.
standard for
Okay.
that kind of stuff.
Okay, is there a porn commission
Well,
in Spain?
I mean, I'm assuming there is, but they probably don't like sit there and have guidelines for the regulation of how hard you have to be to be in a porno.
Oh, God.
I've heard of the Warren Commission, but the Porn Commission?
Yeah.
The Porn Commission.
Yes. Oh, my God. Well, that's great. I didn't know that was a thing anyone needed to know, and here we are.
So it's a preliminary study, so it has
Whoa.
not yet been peer reviewed.
Oh.
They've reached completion yet? They've not reached completion?
So they still have yet to reach the climax of their reporting.
I feel
I
like
got nothing
we
to
just
say.
reached the tip. We just have just the tip of this so far.
Yeah, the results haven't really come in.
These jokes are a stroke of genius. I feel like I'm being shafted. Oh boy, so that's
I'm
a thing.
spent.
Yeah. Look, can we just agree that we need to keep an eye on this story and see where it goes once it gets peer reviewed?
Or at least a hand or two.
Hopefully up.
Oh God, thank you for that, Mike. Is there anything else in that story?
There was apparently no link between showers versus growers in relation to age or health or smoking.
Smoking. That's
So smoking
like,
does not impact your shower or grower cards.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know how much is left of that story because it's entered a refractory period. So
Yeah.
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, did they so I guess that means I don't know, it's just kind of weird. This makes me think of the whole shrinky dink thing. when you get cold.
Like a scared turtle.
Yes, like a terrified tortoise.
That was a fun one.
It was. I'm glad I had the dead animal one this week. So Mike could bring us this.
The penis.
The penis. So, Peter and the Wolf. So, David, what have you got for us now?
Okay, so first question, how many of us are familiar with Ghost Adventures?
I'm familiar with it, and I never was a big fan.
I know
okay.
of it.
Okay. How about you, Nick?
I'm familiar with it. Yeah, it's been a few years since I've watched it, but yeah.
Okay, so I'm probably the only one of us here who is considered a fan.
You're an active member of the fan base.
I am an active fan of Ghost Adventures. Like, if you enter my apartment during October, there is a 60% chance that we have Ghost Adventures live streaming on the TV because Discovery Plus does their, 24-hour Ghost Adventures channel. That's...
Okay.
I watch... Before I met Holly, I watched the show, casually. When Holly moved in, Ghost Adventures was on all the time. And it has gotten to the point now where jokes and references to the show and dialogue has filtered its way into our daily conversation. Like, if someone says that they don't understand something, well, there are things in this world we will never truly understand.
God damn it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get you. So, I am a active fan of Ghost Adventures.
Also known as a nerd.
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on it, which I'm saving for a series of episodes on ghost shows, but Ghost Adventures specifically is going to have one. But there's currently a lot of drama in the Ghost Adventures community and subreddit right now.
Oh, I can't wait to hear about the drama llama.
In fact, just recently, the subreddit posted a thing like "No more posts about Nick Groff." Who? How familiar are you with?
He was in the first season, right?
He was in the first 10 seasons.
Oh wow, okay. He was like there with Zach Bagans.
Yeah.
Is it Bagans or Baggins?
So it is technically Baggins, but he pronounces it Bagans because he is very particular, but he also likes to mispronounce words. Like, he cannot say Mercury. He calls it Mercury.
Mercury.
Yeah.
That Bagans the question.
Oh.
Yeah. No, it's a running joke that, Zach has weird ways of saying things that make no sense as to why, because he is a writer, but apparently he's not a speaker.
Yes,
so,
okay, fair.
So yeah, the Ghost Adventure subreddit's having a little fun here right now because it's pretty crazy. It's been fucking fascinating.
Okay.
So, first of all, let's a little background here. The Discovery Warner shakeup, do we know what that was?
Oh, yes. No, we've been following that a lot.
Yeah, we're all huge nerds here, so yeah, so for those people who don't know, Discovery purchased Warner Brothers from AT&T, and now it's Discovery Warner.
And
the current president, he's on a slashing spree, cutting shows and stuff like that. That entire Batgirl movie was just destroyed.
Yep.
Never released. So part of this is that several shows have been canceled or are likely to be canceled. Now, there are a lot of ghost shows on Discovery as a platform.
Yes, that includes, yeah.
Very, very weirdly specific ones, but there's some fun ones in there. So, as of right now, these shows are at the risk of cancellation, including the Holzer Files, Portals to Hell, Destination Fear, and Ghost Brothers, which I do love Ghost Brothers.
That sounds like a mystery-solving team.
It does, but it's literally like three dudes who run a barbershop who then go hunt ghosts. It's amazing.
Oh my god. Okay.
And they do a fun show with Jack Osborne called Fight Club. That is basically not Fight Club, Fright Club.
Yes, okay, that's that right. I'm familiar with that one.
They would destroy Jack Osborne, but anyway. No, but they do they show paranormal videos, and it's fun. I really recommend that one. It's a lot of fun.
Okay.
But I can really only confirm that Ghost Brothers and Destination Fear as of now are canceled. Ghost Adventures has gone untouched, but it is the biggest ghost show ever, so there you go.
Right.
A lot of the information about these cancellations of the Discovery Warner Paranormal slate was listed by one Dakota Layden, who in many ways is a protege of Zach Bagans. Now, Zach served as a producer of Destination Fear, which is Dakota's show, And Dakota got his start as a member of the Ghost Adventures crew. He's seen in a few episodes and that sort of thing. Then he starts his show. Now, regarding this cancellation, it wasn't even fully confirmed that the show was canceled. It was like kind of like the renewal period. You know how every like early spring
everything's on the bubble.
Yeah, exactly. So Dakota on social media began throwing Zach under the bus regarding cancellation and started making accusations that we've heard before about Zach Bagans from other people in the ghost television industry and from former Ghost Adventures host Nick Groff. Like, obviously, Zach Bagans is a problematic figure. Has a bit of an ego to him.
Oh, just a scotch.
And of course, we talked about the Dybbuk box incident, which was always a lot of fun.
Which is completely fake.
Yeah. But I am convinced that he is giving it power.
Yeah, I'm kind of with the new Kurtz on that one.
Yeah.
He may have kind of accidentally created a cursed object.
So the main thing here is that, like, it's same shit, different day. This is just a continuation of the drama that's dogged Ghost Adventures for years. You know, if you're the king, they're always going to come after you.
Right.
So, long story short, it's clear that Zach Bagans is kind of a dick.
Right.
But very successful, good at what he does, and Ghost Adventures has lasted as long as it has at his control.
Mm-hmm.
And he does exert a lot of control over the show and how it's perceived, especially within Discovery. So we can already kind of see where this is heading, I think. Now,
Maybe.
I'm going to get... Okay. Well, so obviously, like, he's kind of a kingmaker, if you think of it in those terms.
Right.
That's
He's the one
I'm
that
wanting
gives
you to-
people their own shows and puts them up. Yeah. No, I got you.
Like,
Okay.
if you're thinking about a ghost show on TV, what show are you going to think about?
Yeah. Who do you go to for help with it?
Yeah, who's the ghost guy of the world right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get into the weeds a little bit here. I downloaded TikTok for this. That's how...
You poor son of a
devoted I was.
bitch.
Yes, I literally downloaded TikTok. I gave it like a burner email address and everything like that. Fuck you, China. But no, like that's how far I went into this. So first of all, I want to throw a shout out to NC State Paranormal on TikTok for doing a solid summary of this shit in under 5 minutes, which really helped me out.
Nice.
So, what do you guys know about the role of an executive producer?
Depends. If it being a reality show, it usually means kind of helping. So they're kind of like the showrunner of a reality show, so that they'll push kind of. It depends.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Depends.
You know, so as far as Zach's role as an executive producer, most of us probably understand that his role is largely just being a famous name attached to a project to lend it some credibility.
Yeah, and a lot of times the executive producer is someone that threw money at the project.
Yeah, and you know, he's a busy guy. Like, we know that he's a busy guy. He's got his museum. He's got 3 or 4 different TV shows at this point. He's not going to be very hands-on with some things that he doesn't have direct control over. So the drama here is that that Dakota, in a video on Twitter, mentioned that as an executive producer, Zach was very hands-off on Destination Fear, and that he really didn't speak up for the show with Discovery Warner, particularly around this time of renewal. With that said, though, Zach being hands-off is kind of an expectation here. I don't know why anyone would expect otherwise.
Sure.
Now, there were also some accusations among the Destination Fear fandom, and kind of obliquely hinted at by Dakota, that Zach might have been jealous of how Destination Fear was performing, given it is a younger show, and it was recently nominated for some, like, Best Reality Ghost Show award, along with Ghost Adventures, which is a ridiculous category.
Yeah,
But,
that is completely dumb.
I think that's all speculation, as nearly all of this is, but
Sure.
again, like, this is the kind of atmosphere that's swirling around here.
Yeah, there's a lot of backbiting.
Again, a lot of it is he said, she said, but the hilarious thing about this situation is Zach Bagans saying absolutely nothing. He's absolutely gray rocking this shit, not giving it any air, anything like that. Not really engaged with this in any form. So it's basically this Dakota kid throwing a tantrum, and now Nick Groff is jumping on, saying that he would break his silence about why he was no longer with Ghost Adventures post 2014.
Uh-huh.
He did a video. It was a 6-minute video of softball questions and answers, saying virtually nothing and promoting his own work.
Oh, boy.
Now, all of this drama goes back to the first few seasons of Ghost Adventures when Nick was more hands-on with the show, and arguably I would say Nick was probably the largest influence to why Ghost Adventures... So obviously Ghost Adventures kind of become a parody of itself to a large degree. Like, I don't think anyone really takes it seriously anymore.
That tends to happen anyway, but like with a reality show like this, I mean... How many times are you seriously going to run into a ghost?
Right. Now, the first season, though, like the first couple seasons of the show, were pretty good. The evidence seemed to be better. Like visually, the show looked unlike any other paranormal ghost show on TV. It had a definite visual and editing style. It had some real, like, I don't want to say gravitas because that's a weird word, but they had like a certain weight to it.
It took it more seriously.
Yeah, and that was because of Nick.
Right.
So Nick does deserve his praise for what the show started off as. But the problem is, Zach ended up taking up a lot of the focus because he actually has presence and some kind of fucked up charisma. More than half the reason people watch the show is for Zach's idiosyncrasies. Like, if I ask you, like, who is Zach Bagans, you know who he is, you know how he acts, you know what he looks like.
Right. I mean, hell, he was at Dragon Con last year.
So, this leads to Nick, who's feeling slighted, creating his own miniseries, Ghost Stalkers, terrible name, which was advertised as being from Ghost Adventures. This irritated Zach, who had more or less become the brand of the original show, leading to a messy falling out in that 2014 period. Now, Nick has never quite stated, because like he obviously doesn't want to get his ass sued, but like the implication is that like Zach had him frozen out of Ghost Adventures, like demanded like, well, it's either me or it's Nick, and Discovery went with Zach because Zach's the one drawing in the viewers.
Right.
Like, have you ever seen any of Nick Groff's ghost shows?
I haven't.
I haven't, no.
It's like, he's like a wallpaper sample. Not a lot going on there as far as presence goes. Like, editing and conceptually, like, his Paranormal Lockdown series is one that I enjoyed. Not so much for him, but for the concept of it, because they stay like a couple of days in a location, and that's how you catch these things, right? You can't just go one night. You have to spend an extended period of time there. So like Nick, he's a talented guy, just he does not have that presence and again that fucked up weird charisma of Zach.
Sure. No, I understand. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's like you got the songwriter and then you got the front man. Yeah, and Nick is very much kind of the songwriter here.
Right. So the icing on this shit cake,
oh god,
is that all of this all this going on, Dakota and his crew, their show was canceled, but they're now crowdfunding a new show, and they have already doubled their initial goal in funding in about a week.
Holy crap.
So like it's not a bad thing for them. Like they produced the show by themselves. They didn't really get much from Discovery aside from funding, and the funding thing is secured. So good for them. Destination Fear is fine.
Way to go.
However, Nick Groff is starting a new show called Groff Adventures.
Okay, that just sounds like a children's show about like a monster teddy bear called the Groff.
It's like it. I have my own opinions on this thing. I'll get into that in a little bit, but it seems likely to me that this mass cancellation of ghost shows with Discovery Warner is just part of Zaslav's cost cutting. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Ghost Adventures' biggest paranormal show on the streamer, probably on Earth, right? Being the longest running show, that's what did Destination Fear in. You don't need 20 ghost shows if you have the one ghost show that is a reliable earner. nothing personally pushed by Zach in this situation, but I don't know, and I can't prove much
No, but
to that.
it honestly, they've got so many, it kind of reminds me of, and I just show my age here, when CBS canceled all the rural-based programming, like, Green Acres and Petticoat Junction and Mayberry RFD and everything, because they're like, we're sick of CBS standing for country broadcasting service.
It also kind of reminds me of that joke about the History Channel. What, you mean the Hitler Channel?
Yes! Yeah,
It's
and
like the same
now
thing, like,
it's Ancient Aliens.
Because Travel Channel had, like, at one point, like, 5 different currently running ghost shows.
And my dad loved all of them.
Mm-hmm. Like, they're fun. Like, I'm not going to, like, judge anyone for enjoying them or anything like that, because I enjoyed a number of them. But the whole thing that's giving me life about this is just Nick Groff suddenly kind of jumping in and trying to, like, change the narrative, because you could tell that he's really hung up on these events.
Oh, he's still pissed off. Right.
Yeah, and he's latching onto this Dakota thing. But the funniest thing about all of this is, like, Zach Bagans has said nothing. Like, I'm not going to say I'm on Team Zach, but Zach is doing the smart play here.
Which is let them look like dumbasses.
Yeah, because here's the thing: if you're coming at a situation, you're saying that someone is jealous of you, and they're saying nothing to or about you, you've already lost the battle.
Pretty much.
So that's where we're currently at. There is a lot going on right now. The story is developing. I've not really heard much from the Zach Bagans camp.
Right.
But like the Nick Groff thing, like, again, like a 6-minute video full of softball questions, didn't answer the real questions. Like, did you fake that evidence at that one location that you shot out, that sort of thing. Like, and I will talk about all of this when we do our Ghost Shows episode, because it is a very weirdly kind of like incestuous shyster community.
Because they're all linked together.
But, like, I know that we had a bunch of people in the Discord wondering about this, so I spent a couple hours just, like, I had 3 pages of notes on this.
Holy God.
Because there's so much to it. I try to simplify it as much as possible. This is a little outside of our wheelhouse for the show, but it also is very much it's very much in the wheelhouse too.
It's in there, but yeah. Mike, have you ever watched any of these shows?
Not really.
I haven't either, but like I'm more of a I'm not a we're gonna go out on location and do this. I just want to hear the stories mostly. So, but that's me. Thank you for the update, and I'm looking forward to hearing more when we do the episode.
I'm gonna have a number of ghost shows. We do have to talk about like Ghost Hunters, for example.
The from Sci-Fi.
Yeah. So again, like, it's a weird kind of gossipy story, but as someone who watches a lot of ghost adventures, and it being kind of like one of the main things out there for paranormal people, that's kind of giving, I wouldn't say it gives legitimacy, but it like shines a light on like thinking in paranormal circles because of the techniques used, like the spirit box and all of that sort of stuff. Like those tools are used, EMF readers, for example. They use the tools of the trade that real investigators use. And they do find a good evidence on occasion, but it's also like, again, it's not doing anything great for the paranormal community and ghost hunting community, but it's also like getting it out there. Yeah,
but I mean, so is somebody faking Bigfoot. So there's a certain amount of fuck these assholes that I have.
Yeah.
Because it's muddying the waters.
And here's the thing, like, half of our listeners are going to be like, oh, this is fascinating. The other half is just going to be like, oh my God, when is this going to be over?
Well, as a bit of a palate cleanser, before we go on to our closing stuff, Mike and I discovered something thanks to Dusty this week. KillerMilk.com. There is a billboard up in Los Angeles right now that says 9 out of 10 serial killers grew up drinking milk. And it's got these photos of Jeffrey Dahmer, Richard Ramirez, and Charles Manson with milk mustaches. And we went to the website, and it says, so you think this is a ridiculous statement, don't you? We agree. It is just as ridiculous as Big Dairy's advertising slogan. 9 out of 10 U.S. Olympians grew up drinking milk. That's why we put up a billboard at Beverly and Sweetser in Hollywood and plastered posters all around L.A. to expose a deadly truth about cow's milk. We are Switch for Good, an evidence-based nonprofit working hard every day to bring consumers the truth. It then is an entire page about Big Dairy.
This is very Discordian.
Yes. Yeah. 1, dairy kills people. 2, dairy kills the environment. 3, dairy kills the truth. 4, dairy kills cows. 5, dairy kills food justice.
Now, did dairy also kill JFK?
Yes.
So.
Yes, it killed JFK. Okay. Hail Eris, Hail Discordia. That was the weirdest goddamn thing to discover this week.
Right.
Mike was saying, yeah, okay, no, the dairy industry, what was it you said? You were talking about the dairy industry really does kind of suck, but...
Well, I mean, any lobbying group is going to push their own narrative.
Right.
I mean, just like, the automotive lobby and the
gun lobby and everything else.
Yeah, I mean, they all...
The Egg Advisory Board.
Like, the milk lobby probably pushes, and the beef and everything lobby pushes one thing, and I'm sure there's a produce lobby that probably pushes the other way. And
I still feel like vegetarians are just too weak to actually come together as a group. But that's me. I just think they don't have the energy because of poor nutrition.
I don't know. You want to see a vegetarian with energy, just, ask them, or don't even ask them, just wait for them to tell you about their...
I'm not going near them. Have you ever smelt a vegetarian fart?
I can't say that I have.
You don't want to. It's bad.
Wow. Vegetarians just pissed now.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
Lost all our vegan listeners.
Sorry. I'm just saying, like, you know.
No, there's a difference between vegans and vegetarians. Let me explain it to you for free.
No, God damn it.
I was going to say, if we're harping on vegetarians, well, vegans are just right out.
Oh, yeah, no.
No, I had an aunt that was
No, there's nothing wrong with
I think she was like what's the term?
Pisca something, where they eat fish?
The fish and the egg.
Yes, yeah, it's like pescatarians.
Yeah.
Well, what's the one where you can only eat fruit once it hits the ground? Because that was a thing.
I don't know. We had a friend that went on something he called a monkey diet, and I'm like, a monkey will eat a Big Mac if you put it in front of it.
Yeah, I remember Indiana Jones being on that for like a movie. So
yeah. Cheated monkey brains.
Yes.
But it's just this whole website trying to take down, and they keep putting in all caps, big dairy. Big dairy. Truth is,
big mommy milkers.
Oh, God damn it. Truth is, like tobacco, dairy is a stone cold killer.
Yeah, I think there's, a bit of false dichotomy there. Yes, tobacco was terrible and did a lot of lies, and I'm sure the dairy industry lies about their product, but the scale of their detriment is way different.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, milk isn't the best for you, and there are a lot of people that can't drink milk.
Guys, they have a podcast.
Of course they have a podcast.
Of course.
Switch for Good podcast, my God.
But, I'm not going to get secondhand lactose intolerance.
I remember when that happened.
Just walk by a cheese pizza and shit yourself.
Yep. Nope. That happened to me one time.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. Nope. Totally happened. Wow. There's a lot of episodes of their podcast.
We're going to have to probably listen to a couple of them and then talk about them on the next Week in Weird.
Fiber is our favorite F word.
Jesus.
Wow. Find your inner water tiger.
Wait, what?
Weapons of mass distraction.
Is this just like a front for the Hydra homies?
I don't know. Do you think these are the kind of people that say you can subsist only on sunlight?
Oh, maybe. Like, nah, this just sounds like a front for the Hydra homies.
Have great sex with juice.
OJ.
Don't
So
you
what,
think I would have done it because I love her so
juice?
much?
You legit stick your thing in that make no.
No.
That's acidic. It's
It's,
acidic.
it's bad. It's all
I was
bad.
going to make a Sunny D joke, but
Oh. What have we got? OJ, purple stuff. Oh, God.
Hawaiian punch.
Yeah. Sure. God. So,
I've heard of the donkey punch, but what's the Hawaiian punch?
you get hit in the back of the head with a surfboard. Because of an idol.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love that.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of you for that one.
Thank you.
That
So,
was quick.
so we've gone through our little news things here, David. I think it's time for X to give us something.
Okay, so again, this is me browsing the paranormal board on 4chan. I found a thread that has a question. I want us to answer this question, and then I'll read some of the replies.
Okay, great. And when you answer the question, I would love for Nick to go first.
Yeah. So the question is, how do you protect yourself from vampires who want to drink your blood?
Garlic.
Okay.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, let's think outside garlic, though. Do we have anything else?
I don't do anything because they don't exist.
God damn it. Well, he's on brand.
Yep, that's a Mike answer for you.
Yep, I was gonna say, those big foam things you wear around your neck when you've been in an accident and you have whiplash.
Oh yeah, the neck, the neck brace.
Yeah, you just wear one of those all the time.
Or you wear one of those neck pillows. That way you can take a nap wherever you're at.
Oh yeah,
I mean, if
it's full of air, it'll pop and scare the vampire off.
they're just looking for like a good, vein or artery, they could just go for like your thighs or your inside your arms,
Yeah.
biceps.
Okay,
There's
so maybe
nice big veins there.
maybe the garlic is the way to go. You wear like garlic scented stuff from like Black Phoenix Alchemy Lab.
There you go.
So you just reek of garlic.
So I'm going to say that their answers are a little more creative than us.
Oh, really? Because I thought ours were creative to the point of realism.
So you stink of garlic all the time.
Yeah.
Yes, you're safe from vampires, but you're also
And women.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're safe from the from love interests as well.
Yes.
That is one of the answers on this thread. So how about I read some of their solutions here?
Oh, please do.
Yeah.
Okay, the first suggestion. Think really hard so your blood pressure increases and they blow up.
Oh, that is awesome.
I would think that would just I don't think they would blow up so much as you're just giving them more of what they want. Just
Yeah,
like,
but if you
go from being like a juice box to being like
a squeezed juice box.
Yes.
You ever had like a juice box and like one of your friends like squeezes it and then like it just like hits you?
Yeah, it's like playing slap bag.
Huh?
It's with bagged wines.
Slap
okay,
the bag.
okay.
Yeah.
Slap the bag, yeah. Someone's
okay.
drinking from the wine bag and
maybe that's
you
what
slap it.
Maybe that's what vampires do. Like as a joke, someone's like chowing down on someone, and another one like goes boo, and they're like and just like blood squirts all over the other vampire, and they're like
Hey, blood squirted out my nose. You freaked me out so bad.
yeah.
Do you think if a vampire drinks like negative blood, they get kind of gloomy for a little bit?
Ooh, I don't know. Do you think? Oh man, if I were a vampire, I would like drink Typo Negative exclusively just because of the band.
Well, yeah, you'd be a goth vampire.
Yeah.
Can you imagine,
Is
like-
there another kind?
Yeah, I mean, you could be like a happy poppy vampire.
There aren't enough of those.
Here's another one.
Okay.
When they're biting you, just sneeze so the blood squirts out and they start to cough and choke.
Okay, that's the same thing. It's the same goddamn
So
thing.
We're starting to get there. Okay. Here's another one. Have love in your heart. Keep all fear out of you. Sounds impossible, but it's like poison to them. This,
No,
bless
it's
thy
not.
enemies till death.
No, it's not.
That's nowhere in the source material.
Motherfucker, I saw Interview with a Vampire.
Okay, here's
Claudia
one
would have been fine and dead, but
here's one that we already have.
Okay.
I eat a lot of garlic, and I only shower like once every 3 weeks. Most everyone stays away from me.
oh my God, he must go to a lot of cons.
Wow.
Gross.
Oh,
Wow.
This person must not have any friends.
well, I'm not his friend. That's disgusting.
Here's an interesting one. Vampires can only legally drink the blood of other vampires. If you eat animals, you are a vampire because you feed off the life of another being. The only way to not be a vampire is to be the source of your own energy, like the sun. Vampires cannot suck the life force out of those who embody the sun. Step 1, stop eating animals, any cooked food. Step 2, eat raw fruits and vegetables. Step 3, stay in the sunlight all day.
That's not how the vampires work.
That's not how that works. That's not how any of that works.
Congratulations, you turned yourself into a vampire V8.
Well, okay, they do clarify this a little more.
Thank God.
It sounds like that yogi that claimed he lived on like sunlight.
Yeah, no, like I was saying, those weird sunlight assholes.
To expand on this post, I'd like to mention vampirism is an archetype of consciousness. Anyone can be a vampire. The main trait of a vampire is being so parasitic to other beings' energy. If you'd like to learn more about how not to be a vampire, aka how not to be vamped, check out these person's page on Instagram. And I'm not going to read their Instagram because I cannot vet it. But yeah, so
that's not how any of this works.
So that's about all I have. That's where the discussion's at so far.
Wow.
People are mostly posting in reply to the cute goth girl used as the thread photo.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, what a banger.
Fanger, you mean?
Oh, Christ.
Yeah.
I'd let her suck my blood.
So, hey, Nick, do you regret being on?
No, not at all.
Oh God, it's been good having you on, man. We need to get together again sometime. This has been fun.
Oh yeah, for sure. I appreciate you guys having me on. This has been a blast.
Not a problem. And remember, go to Kickstarter, look up Excavator, and back Nick's comic. It is looking real damn good.
Now, Nick, where are you at on these socials? Where's the best way to get a hold of you and get updates on these things?
Yeah, you can go for just my overall general social media, like Instagram and, wow, my brain died on me, Twitter. I'm surprisingly still holding out on that one. It's Good Bad Geeky, all one word. And then for Excavators Facebook page, you can go to facebook.com/excavator comic, and I think that's another good spot too.
Awesome.
If your Facebook is more your speed.
Now, how many days left do you have on the campaign at this point?
At the time that we are recording this right now, it is 7 days.
Okay, they're still okay. Yeah, if you're listening to this, go check out the Kickstarter. Check out what Nick does. Make sure you support artists. Because we need that more than ever right now. Artists are under attack.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I could be a little serious for a second.
Yeah. You're right, and I mean, especially with the way the algorithm across the board has changed and all the things, it makes it harder for artists, no matter what size, to have people find them through natural means, right?
Right.
All being unfortunately caught in this self-sustaining loop, or non-self-sustaining loop, right? Where we're not getting new eyes on the project, unfortunately, just because the algorithm has been turned against us. So, yeah.
So we're really happy to help you promote that, and I've already backed it, so I highly recommend you go out and do that. And we'll keep you updated. And please keep us updated on that, Nick.
Oh, yeah, I will, definitely. Thank you guys so much.
Not a problem, man. And that leaves me to say you can find all your information about our show at supernatpod.rocks. We are on Mastodon at supernatpod at horrorhub.club. David, is there anything you'd like to promote for yourself?
Yeah, this weekend hit up Serven.com. That is SERRVEN. That is the anthology site for the Cosmic Dash side stories. I just finished up a comic I am very proud of, and I even wrote a little 5-page short story continuation that kind of continues the horror vibes. If you like robots and you like death in space, I think you're gonna really enjoy it. But I'm just very pleased to kind of move that story forward. So please check it out.
Yes, definitely. Mike, what would you like to plug?
So I have this thing I've been working on. It's this thing I've discovered that when I lay down and close my eyes, something interesting happens. And I want to give this more research. So,
what is that called?
I haven't come up with a term for it yet.
Okay, awesome.
But I think everybody should try laying down and closing their eyes. And it sometimes you see like things happen, almost like
TV,
imagining things. Yeah.
Oh wow, really cool
with pictures.
Yes, but you don't.
There's our Futurama reference.
So I'm gonna give that some more thought and study, and I'll report back.
Sounds good. Great. All right.
I'll take 8.
So that leaves me to say thank you everyone for listening. We could not do this without you. Again, supernatpod.rocks, and you can find our Patreon as well there. So until next time, stay safe and stay frosty. Goodbye. Really, just a heart full of goodness will get rid of vampires. Oh, Mike's dead. Or he's doing that short dead thing. Little death.
The little death requires... Oh, no, I guess it doesn't require a partner.
No, it doesn't. Not at all.